Okay, so welcome everyone to our team call. We are going to start these back up. I feel as though we'll probably do these weekly to get going again and keep everyone on track and help us all stay connected again. I wanted to give a few shout outs before we start this call. I really wanted to say congratulations to Katie again for reclaiming her Emerald status, which was awesome. She has been working pretty hard this month to get that. And so great work on that one, Katie. Great job, Megan, coming back from Summit and hitting Success Club on her way back. Janet, you're on fire again this month. Everything seems to be rolling with you. And Summit, I think Summit did it for all of us. It kind of reignited that flame or cemented that this is something to really push for. But biggest shout out goes to Christina. Holy crap, she's come back like a fireball. She's signed up 4 coaches this month and she's just, she's on a roll. So, also that we're thinking of her. She did go through some major surgery today and she's recovering from that. She'll be off for the next few weeks from work. So I'm going to screen share. Hopefully I can. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. So tonight we're going to talk about social media training, and specifically we're going to go over at Summit, we listened to Amy Silverman and Bonnie Engel present on social media. And I feel as though out of anyone out there, coaches out there doing on social media right now, Amy Silverman and Bonnie Engel are probably two of the two that I know I follow, that a lot of us follow, that are very true to themselves and authentic. And I think that again was an overall message of Summit, was to be you, be authentic. Don't be scared to be you, and share that. And their message here was to be a first-rate you, not a copycat, meaning don't be out there copying what everybody else is doing, because that's not it. You are your brand, and people will follow you because of your good and because of your bad. They will follow you, and they will want to work with you. But if you're out there taking ideas from other people, or you're copying their posts and just, that doesn't come across as authentic, and it's not you. It's not your words, and it's not you talking, and it's not your emotions, and people can sense that. So not be a copycat. So it was this training after we saw this, when I came back from Summit myself, that I did unfollow a lot of coaches. So other than my team and a couple of other people that I choose to follow, anyone else that pops up on my screen as a Beachbody coach, I automatically unfollow them. So if they can see me, that's fine, but I unfollow them so I don't see them. So I'm doing my own thing, which I encourage everyone else to. That's what this training's about. So we'll get right into it. So when we started off, we've said this many times before, but when you are starting off, just becoming a coach, or if you've been coaching for a while, it's always great to stop and think about who you are. What are your likes, hobbies, dislikes? What's going on that you can be sharing and relating with people? And the point what they asked was, ask yourself these questions. What is normal about you? So what is normal about you? Make a list of things that's normal about you. What things have you overcome? Make a list of some things that you've overcome. Like they've listed debt, anxiety, weight loss, health issues, feeling lost. What are those things? And what makes you special and unique? Those things that you come up with, those lists that you come up with, those are posts. Those are what you can be talking about on Facebook. We've all heard this, and we've all said it ourselves when we first start. They're like, oh, I don't know what I should be posting. I don't know what I should be posting about. I don't know what I should be talking about. Well, this is where you start. Start thinking of things that you like. What have you overcome? What has sent you join Beachbody and started a program? What has it helped you with? What has it helped you overcome? You know, what's special about you? What's something that someone doesn't know about you? Those are all things that you can be talking about, okay? And then whether, the next point was, you can either be a first-rate version of yourself or a second-rate version of someone else. You need to choose yourself. Don't be out there copying other people. Work from your list to make posts. So those lists, you know, what makes you? What are your hobbies? What have you overcome? What makes you special? Those are your posts that you can be talking about. And take the opportunity to speak your voice. Dribble your story in each post. So one of the most important things that we have to offer, the most valuable tool we have to offer people, is our stories. And none of us, including myself, share our stories enough. Some of you, I don't even know your story. If I went to your Facebook page right now, I could not tell you what your story was. I could not tell what you've struggled with in the past and how you've started to overcome it or what you've been doing to overcome it. I don't know that. I know because I personally have talked to each one of you, and I know what you've struggled with personally in a one-on-one conversation. But you need to be sharing more of that. You need to be telling your story. And it doesn't need to be a big, huge, long post that's 3 pages long. You can do pieces of your story in different posts. That's how we add value. You need to turn down the noise of those that inspire you. So, you know, like I said, Amy Silverman, Bonnie Engel, you know, it could be Brooke for some of you. It could be anyone. They're there to help maybe inspire you or, you know, get you pumped up in that. But when it comes to your post, you need to focus on you and what you're saying to yourself. What is that when you quiet everything around you? What are you thinking of? What is that moment? Like, there's moments where I'm like drying my hair in the morning and light bulbs are going off. And that's when I go to the computer and start writing. That's a post. Whenever something comes to you, you could be in the middle of driving home. You could be in the middle of taking the dog for a walk. You could be, I don't know, mopping the bathroom floor, and something could come up. You might want to talk about it. You need to have a little diary or a little book, or use the recorder on your phone and write that stuff down. As soon as it comes into your head, start writing that stuff down and getting it out. You need to, I heard someone mention this the other day, that they actually have a journal. So like at the end of each day, they kind of like journal their day and journal their thoughts and how they felt and different things. Those become posts. Those are the things that become posts. You have to see your posts as if, we'll talk more about that. And then there's a million and one ways to say different things, right? Like all of us on this phone call right now could all be asked to say the same thing, talk about the same thing, but we'll all say it a different way, right? And that's the great thing about this. And use the BFF rule, which is what I was just about to say before. You need to treat your Facebook as if you were sitting down in Starbucks with your best friend and talking to them. When I started, it always used to be, you need to treat it as if you were sitting on the couch with your best friend. You're sitting there beside each other on the couch and you're just talking to each other. That's how you should be talking. It's not strategic. It's not asking for a sale all the time. It's not asking people to join you all the time. It's none of that. That's not what our posts are about. Facebook and our posts are about connecting to people. It's about adding value to someone. It's about telling your story and making those connections so that people feel connected to you. And then be yourself. It's not about being interesting. It's just being relatable. So that's the thing. I think people have this fear that when they start posting on Facebook that everything's got to be flashy and got to be well structured, and that, no, it's just got to be relatable. And a lot of people relate to your mess more than they relate to the good things. People see the highlight reel from everybody on Facebook. That's not what people relate to. People relate to the shitty parts, like your sink full of dishes and not being able to get to it, like, I don't know, like, just the messy stuff, right? So like this was from them. So this was from Amy. So Amy was saying that hers is about fashion. So she talks about, her fashion and the clothes she wears. You can talk about what you want out of a friend, the characteristics and traits. Meaning, like for the coach opportunity, because that's who it is. These are your friends that you become. What are you looking for, right? Stay true to you and what you're passionate about. So what are you passionate about? You should be talking about that. Your wants, desires, needs in life, those are things you should be talking about. Speak your mind. Don't dull your shine out of fear. That was a good one. That the whole thing here was to be you. So don't be afraid to speak your mind on Facebook, what you believe. You have to remember your Facebook page is your house. Therefore, you're allowed to say whatever you want on your Facebook page. If people choose to leave, then those people are not the people you were talking to. The more true to yourself you are, the more you will attract the people that are like you. You will attract your tribe. And hobbies and interests are a great one. So like Amy mentioned here, she's into tattoos, gardening, and animals. She talks about that a lot. So that's what you can be talking about. And be original. So being original. So being a first-rate original is new, exciting. People want to follow it. It's fresh, inspired, and relatable, right? And if you're second-rate, it's being icky. It's not you. It's feeling of disconnect. People are not connecting with you. You lose your voice and you're feeling fake. So if you're out there posting all the time about, hey, we got these programs on sale. Hey, come join me, come join me. Hey, come join me to this. That's not connecting with people. People don't connect with that. That's icky. That's being salesy, and that's what we are not about. The whole point of sharing you is sharing you and actually being you, right? So here's an example of a second-rate post that Bonnie shared, right? So you can see there's a lot of, the emojis and everything in there. And it's just kind of it's just a post that you put up. And this is actually, it's funny that she used this post because about, I don't know how long ago it was now, probably 6 to 8 months ago, everybody who was anyone was posting this post, right? But this is a first-rate post where she put a picture of herself on here, and then she asked everyone, I have a question. I just noticed this page has over 17,000 followers. I'm super curious if you're reading this and how we know each other. Comment below a little bit about how you came to find my page, maybe a friend of a friend we know. So what she's doing is she's asking them to post how they met or how they came to her page, so that when she goes back to comment on it and like it, that gives her a whole new perspective on where this person came from and how she can connect to them when she goes to talk to them, right? Another one, and this one here is one we've all done this post. Every single one of us has done this post. We all have. It's when a second-rate post is just posting a picture of your Shakeology with the word Shakeology there and talking about, did you know Shakeology offers a bottom-of-the-bag refund if you drink the entire bag? We've made those posts. And then Amy showed a first-rate one is, if you notice her cup in the picture, you cannot see the words Shakeology. So therefore, no one knows that that's what she's drinking. And she talks about it as a superfood shake, a nutrition dense shake. You stay true to you and your brand. So you are your brand. What you like, what you do, that becomes your brand. So things like, for me, like the pups, when I talk about the dogs, that is part of my brand because that's part of what I talk about. So that becomes a brand, right? So don't be salesy. Share your day-to-day, right? Create curiosity in your posts. So don't tell them everything in your post. You need to be breadcrumbing in your posts. Make sure they ask. So you don't need to come right in and say, hey, I'm doing 21-day fix program. I'm doing a weight and cardio based program. It's really helped me increase my strength, blah, 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 right? You talk about it in general so that it makes people say, well, what program are you doing then? What is it you're doing? Again, it's creating a connection with people. So it prompts them to message you and invite them to reach out as much as possible. So at the end of your post, you can always say things like, if you want to learn more, you can message me. If you're curious, you can message me or reach out. I'm always here. You can let them know. So, just let them know you're available to talk, basically, right? They don't have to join anything, but if they want to reach out and message you, then you're available. So finding your vibe will attract your tribe. So consistency. This is huge, right? So they used an example, a magazine. So, you're heading to work every day. Every day you pass by this one magazine stand. Every day there's a People magazine on the magazine stand. Every day you walk by, you get your newspaper, you see the People magazine, you don't get it, but you walk by. The next day you come by, there's the magazine, the People magazine's there, you grab your newspaper, you keep going to work. The next day, the third day you do it. A couple weeks later, next thing you know, you show up one day and that magazine's not there. And it was like, oh, well, I was going to get that magazine today, and now it's not there. And then you come back the next day and the magazine's not there again. So you're like, I'm not going to get the magazine again then. Then they come back the third day and the People magazine's not there, but you see that there's a Star magazine that has the exact same content in it. So you're like, I'm just going to grab this one then. That the whole point here is that you're doing this and there's other people doing this. If you disappear for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, but that other person is still showing up every single day to their business, that means a person that's been following you and following that other person sees you disappear, but that other person's still showing up. They're going to be like, I'm going to go to this person because she's there. She's still doing it and she's going to support me more. Consistency. You cannot disappear from this business. You can't. People are watching, right? You want to be looking for your perfect best friend. You can't be afraid to talk about work and the gritty details. You only get what you give. So the more you give, the more you get. So if you have not read the book, The Go-Giver, yet, that is a great book to read. And it talks about giving. We should always be in a giving mindset. We should always be in an abundance mindset, right? We should always be freely giving because that will come back. It will come back to you and you need to be ready to accept it back. So I lost my train of thought there. But anyway, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you've got to be putting out there basically what you want to get back. And the more you put out, the more you're going to receive back tenfold. This is just the way it works, right? It's the way life is. You've got to be willing to give. You cannot, if you see someone comment on a post or someone messages you and the first thing you're thinking of is, ooh, I'm going to get a sale, or ooh, I'm going to get Success Club points, then you're already losing. That's already wrong. That's the wrong mindset. We're here to help people and we're here to connect with people. And the more we put out and the more we do that, the more that we will receive back. So your best friend. So when you are talking on Facebook or you're talking to anyone, it's like talking to your best friend. So really, you're talking to who you were before Beachbody, kind of thing, right? So Bonnie here listed off her best friend. She's driven and she likes to have off. She's driven, but she likes to have off days. She's in debt and would work really hard to meet, if met, paying it off. Likes fitness sometimes, but needs a push. Is always thinking of new ideas to create and is scared of success, but more scared to fail. So when she's crafting her post, that's the girl she's talking to. She's wording it so that she's talking to this person, right? So if you can write down who your best friend is, who is she? What does she look like? What is she struggling with? What would she love to have? That's the person that you need to be, how you start crafting posts. So action, a lot of us fall into the trap of talk. We're all talkers at some point. Everybody talks, right? Everybody can talk a big game. But again, this business is about action. It's fine that we all have goals, and that's great. We do need to have goals. You need to set your goals down, and you need to write them down so you have them in front of you. But you need to take action in order to get to them. You can't talk about it. You need to be doing it, which goes back to your 4 vital behaviors. If you're always doing something each day to move your business forward, you will get to where you want to go, okay? So go back through, read through the slides, read through them all, take it in, and then go to your Facebook page and audit your social media. So are you a brand? Meaning, are you? Are you presenting yourself, or are you copying what others are doing? Can I see your face? Can your body, images that to go together with your messages? Every post you put out there should have a photo with it. And generally, and I'm hearing this a lot lately, is it should be your face. You need to be branding yourself, right? Remember, I said this a long time ago when we all first started, and it was Bonnie Engel who said it actually. It takes someone seeing your face or a brand emblem 170 times before they recognize it as the brand, right? So think the little lizard from Geico. You have to see that little lizard 170 times to associate him with Geico, right? It's the same thing with us. We want people to associate our brand with us and who we are, not with Beachbody, right? We are the brand. We are why people come to our Facebook page. Beachbody is just the tool in which we help people. That's it. Do you know your story through the products rather than the company? So do you know your story? If it's been the 21-day fix or you're just getting started, that's all great. But how has it helped you as you get going and growing? I know we have some newer coaches on the team too. And as you get growing, you may not have a story right now, but you have a story as in where you're at and where do you want to go. Those are things how you can be talking about that. Where are you at now? How are you starting? Maybe it was a struggle to get started. Maybe it took you a while to decide to get started. And now that you're in it and doing it, how is that changing each day for you? How are you growing from it? What's going on? And how are you going forward with it, right? Again, does your vibe speak to your tribe? So how you are presenting yourself and how you're talking on social media, is that going to attract the person that you want to be talking to? And is it you or is it someone else? So is it you? Like another point they made was, before you post any post, read it out loud. Say it out loud. Does it sound like your voice? Does it sound like words you would use? Does it sound like something you would say to someone? If it doesn't, then don't post it. If it does sound like you, then post it, right? So some of the key points to take away is you've got to be you. You're a true, authentic you. We all have something to offer the world. We all have a story. We all have something to put out there. So share it. Don't be scared to share it. You know what you know. So this is I like this one. You know what you know. No one has walked a mile in your shoes. So share what you know. You know, we've all led a life. We've all done something in this life, and no one else has walked in our shoes. No one else can tell our story better than us. You've got to be open up and share it. And the more you're willing to share it, the more, again, that's going to attract your tribe, basically, right? The boring stuff, people relate the most to that. So in those moments, I hear this all the time, those moments, and I mean, I've said it 100 times, like, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to post. Post anything. Take a picture of you sitting right there thinking about, I don't know what to post, and post that. That's a post. Go back to the basics. So this is the one that I talk about all the time. The vital behaviors are key. Whenever you're struggling, whenever you find it hard, go back to the basics. Always go back to the basics. Everything you need to know and post about is in the vital behaviors, right? It's everything. You know, whether it's inviting or talking about any type of group, talking about maybe the coaching opportunity, talking about personal development or what it's done for you. Everything you need to know is in those vital behaviors. If you don't know, and this is for all the new coaches, if you don't know anything else in this business, as long as you know, stick to those 4 vital behaviors, you will be successful. You will be. There's no way to do this. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You need to find your own way and your own voice. It really is. Anything you learn along the way is just another tool for you to take and take what you need to take from it and learn from it, and then go apply it. Again, go take action, go apply it, go do what you need to do. And then stop with the extra long posts. This is Brittany Leggett, actually. I heard her say this one last night. To stop with the extra long posts. You haven't earned people's time yet for them to invest in reading your long post. Gary Vee said it at Summit. Time is the most valuable commodity right now to people, is their time. So to capture their time and hold it for very long, you don't have much of it. And we as new coaches and just getting started out, we haven't earned that right to have this big, huge, long post that take like 5 minutes to read it. You know, no one has time for that. Even personally myself, if I click on a post and it prompts me to a second page and it's really long, I'm already done. I'm not reading it. So keep an eye on your posts. Keep them, you know, to somewhat a minimum. What you can do is, if it's a story that you're telling, break it up into 2 posts. Write about one part of it, and then maybe put a to be continued at the bottom so people come back and read the second part of the story, right? Spacing. The key, it's key for the eye, right? People like to skim over posts and pick out key points to it. So if you just clump your post all together, people get lazy and they're not going to read it. It looks like too much of an effort to go through and read it all. You've got to be breaking it out and spacing it out. Space your thoughts out properly, okay? And our posts are for us to share us. So it's pieces of our stories, our struggles, our mess, everything about us and who we are. Our posts are not meant to be salesy and inviting all the time. It's just meant to be us and sharing about us, right? And if you're trying to make everyone happy, you'll never make yourself happy. You need to be happy, yourself happy first in order to make others happy. So that goes back to your personal development and being true to you on your Facebook page. You need to be true to you and what makes you happy, and be sharing things that are about you. So the whole message is simple, is be you. Do you, be you, and show you. So your social media should be reflecting you and your story, not the company. Think about, how did you get from Island A? So what were you like before Beachbody? And then Island B, which is right now. So how did you get from where you were, where you started to where you are right now. What were you struggling with? What were you having a hard time with? What was that? And how has either the program or the coaching opportunity or whatever it is, how has that helped you? Maybe in the personal development, how has that all helped change you? And this was a good one too. I heard like multiple people say this at Summit. If you're waiting for permission to start being you, you have it. I'm giving you permission. Go be you. Just do it. These guys are like keep coming in and out of the office. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's it. That's the simple message is I would encourage you to go back through everything, read over the slides. If you can, the next step would be if you do, I see that if you go on YouTube, their actual presentation is on YouTube. So you can go through and read it. It was only about a half an hour long or so, but go back in and listen. You can listen to them present it, it was one of the best ones at Summit. But yeah, that's what I had to share with everyone tonight. I think Facebook really is, and so I'm learning myself, it's really about connecting. We really need to be just being ourselves and sharing more of ourselves. Did anyone have any questions or want to add anything? Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to make a point about when, like, I know Hide the Shakeology and Hide Beachbody and stuff like that, but I just think that we need to make it clear, like, in the beginning of my training, I was told not to say Beachbody or post about Beachbody because it came across as salesy. And after a while of doing a different training, I started posting about Beachbody and Shakeology and whatnot. And then I had a couple incidences where people went ahead and bought it online. And they brought that up at Summit as well. Yeah. When you're posting Shakeology Cup, you're letting them know the brand.
Yeah.
And so rather than if they don't have the confidence to approach you about it, and they go online and buy it, and then they come to you and say, well, I just bought the 21-day fix with Shakeology. What do I need to do? It's like, well, you just lost out. Here they've been following you, and they're your biggest fan.
Yeah.
But because of the way you posted in your posts,
yeah,
they went ahead and bought it by themselves, and you lost out.
Yeah.
And then what do you do? What do you say no to them?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a great point. Yeah. I
think that's the bigger point of not posting about the Beachbody products as such.
Yeah. It like it goes back to breadcrumbing. It goes back to having them come to you to ask you, what is that?
Yeah,
what
to create a curiosity.
Exactly. Yeah. How do I get what you're drinking? How do I get that? And then that allows you the opportunity to then connect with them. Like, well, why? Why are you curious about it? What are you struggling with something? Like, you can talk to them and then find out if that's something that's going to help them. Yeah. I think that's important.
I think that would be the biggest takeaway, to not post like the Beachbody brands itself in the posts, more so than being salesy, because I'm quite proud of what we do as coaches.
For sure.
And proud of the Beachbody company and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But just for the greater benefit of connecting with people, it's better to keep the name.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's true. Like when you first start out, it's the way, when you first start out, you're so eager and you so want to share everything that it comes across salesy, I guess.
Yeah.
As you get further into it, you learn to word it or share it a bit differently. So when I say I'm a Beachbody coach now, I'm proud of that fact because I know what Beachbody stands for.
I say it with confidence now.
Yeah, I say it with confidence now. Whereas before you're like, when you first start out, you're like, oh, I'm a Beachbody coach. And people are, you are? Like,
I'm kind of doing this coaching
thing.
I'm
kind of doing this coaching thing.
Yeah. And, but now it's just like, I'm a Beachbody coach.
Yeah, I'm a coach. Yes, I am. Yeah, exactly. And then people are like, well, what is that? And then you can tell them about it. But when you first start, everyone does the same thing. They're like, well, I'm kind of doing this coaching thing. As soon as you say it like that, people are out.
Yeah.
You are speaking as if you have no confidence. Therefore, no one's going to have the confidence to join you. You have to be with confidence all the time. Yeah, I'm doing this. It's changed my life. You should maybe think about doing it too, right? Like that's the. So when people struggle with invites or you struggle with objections, that's what it comes down to, the way you're saying what you're saying.
I don't have the objections that I used to have anymore. Like, I rarely run into objections anymore. I've become that confident within the script, within the way I share my story with people, that I don't get objections no more.
Yeah.
I still get people that go silent or people that aren't ready, but I don't get those weird.
And that's the thing. It comes with time. And it comes with building your own confidence.
Yeah.
Right? That it's all a learning curve. When you first start, it's all a learning curve. You got to learn. It's the only way you're going to learn. But it comes after time. And I'm starting to see that too now. Like, at Summit, they kept repeating the same thing. Like, it does get easier. It does get easier. It does get easier with time. Like, we're all in the thick of it right now, but it will get easier. You got to just keep pushing through. And I can see where they're saying that, because the things I struggled with a year ago now are like, it's like every day. It's just an everyday thing now that I do.
That's why it's so important to be here a year from now, because the changes that I've seen in myself, the changes I've seen in Colleen and other people, if you give it one whole year, it's not like, you'll quit after 1 year. It's just the amount of change, learning, and progress that you make. It's just, there's no going back.
No. People have to commit. You got to commit to Summit. You got to get to Summit. Summit, I listened to Brooke for a full year go on about Summit and how it was a game changer for her, and how, she showed up at Summit with Emerald, and now she went back like as a 5-star. Like, it's just like, like it was a game. And then all of us, like, sitting there, I'm pretty sure all of us, now that we've come back from Summit, is like, yeah, it's, that was it. That was it. You got to commit and get there, and just be here. Just commit to be here. Keep trying, keep pushing forward, and keep going. Just keep going.
And once you get the Summit, you'll go to every Summit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, it's a non-negotiable. To go to Summit. It's just gonna happen.
Just gonna happen. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any other? Do you have any other questions? Or Ashley, thanks for being on the call. If you can hear me, I said hi earlier. I don't know if you heard me, but Ashley's brand new coach with us. Christina signed her up a few weeks ago. So.
Oh, yay!
Yay! So welcome to the team, Ashley. I can see you there. Just one. Where is everyone? Okay, everybody smile. Everybody smile. Okay.